Listen up.
This just in.
All the gossip. The Rumor Report. Gossip. With Angela Yee.
It's the Rumor Report.
The Breakfast Club.
Well, Oprah talked to Vogue magazine, and she actually detailed her 6 weeks that she dealt with depression. She said, "I shall never forget Saturday morning, October 17th. I got a call from someone at the studio, and they said, 'It's over. You got beat by Chucky.' And I said, 'Who's Chucky? What do you mean it's over? It's just Saturday morning.' And she was talking about when she put out her movie, Beloved. So I guess the movie really was a flop. It didn't do well.
Chucky the doll?
Yeah.
I mean, she couldn't be Chucky, though. Chucky, that was a huge movie.
Negro, please.
She said it was 10 o'clock in the morning, and I said to her personal chef, 'I would like macaroni and cheese for breakfast.' And she said, 'And so began my long plunge into food and depression and suppressing all my feelings.' She said that depression lasted around 6 weeks. I actually started to think maybe I really am depressed because it's more than I feel bad about this. I felt like I was behind a veil. I felt like what many people had described over the years on my show, and I could never imagine it. What's depression? Why don't you just pick yourself up?"
Oprah, it's called a loss. Every now and then people take those, okay? That's what happens. That's what happens, Mother O. I know one thing, though. If I turned to my personal chef, I would not be depressed.
Yeah.
Hey, personal chef, could you whip me up some comfort food, please?
And
wouldn't
that's
ask for
why I
mac and
always
cheese
say,
either.
though, we never know what people are going through because she did deal with this. And fortunately for her, she was able to recognize the signs because she's had so many people on her show that have discussed it. She said, "It taught me to never again put all of your hopes, expectations, eggs in the basket of box office. Do the work as an offering, and then whatever happens, happens."
That's interesting. I was listening to her podcast this morning. She was interviewing the author, The Alchemist. I can't pronounce his name, so I'm not even going to attempt to. But she was saying how she still feels like she hasn't, she worries about not fulfilling her ultimate purpose. Like she feels like she's gotten one of her purposes done, but not her ultimate purpose, she said.
Right. Well, Oprah, people never realize, even you might look at her and say, "Oh, she's successful. She's got hundreds of millions of dollars." But like I said, just because you have money doesn't mean you're necessarily happy
Absolutely.
in general.
Okay, I'll take Oprah's
What, money? What?
unhappiness.
Oh.
Yeah,
All right,
we'll figure it out.
little Uzi Vert versus Kodak Black. Now, remember Kodak Black said this on his Instagram Live.
I am not like these other I don't even listen to Uzi. You in the booty. They confusing the community. Listen, man, I ain't want no rumpus. I ain't want no screws. I ain't want no messy bag. Still a purse.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah, go Kodak Black sounding like lawn equipment again.
Well, little Uzi Vert on his own Instagram Live then responded when one of his fans asked him about the comments from Kodak Black, and here's what he said.
What I think about Kodak? That's one of my classmates on the XXL. We Kodak. Well, cause he was rapping. He said that, and I ain't poor. Like you all. If I was poor, that would have got to me. If I was poor, I would have had all day to think about that.
All right.
That's the mentality Oprah should have whenever she get depressed. If I was poor, I'd have all day to think about that.
All right, now let's get into Insecure. Of course, I actually held off on doing this story because I hadn't seen the episode. I watched it last night.
Great episode, right? Dropping a clues bomb for the legend Lawrence. Lawrence just building on his legacy at this point.
Well, hopefully he doesn't have an STD. Now, that was one of the main issues is that you don't see no condoms. I have to tell you, I was watching the scene, and he meets two women in a grocery store, goes home.
Tell the story now. You ain't giving Lawrence all his props now.
He's in the grocery store.
After he got out of a ticket.
Right. He made an illegal U-turn. He got stopped by a cop. Didn't end up getting a ticket. Goes to the grocery store.
Them two girls paid for his alcohol.
His credit card fell out of his wallet, so he didn't have the money to pay for the groceries.
Give Lawrence all his stats.
The two girls online behind him was like, "Oh, we'll pay for it." It was $46 or something.
There you go.
So he ends up going back to their house because they, I guess, thought he was cute.
There you go. Give him all his numbers. Give him his numbers.
So he went to a stranger's house and had sex, no condom.
With who? Both of them.
Well, no, the second one he tried, it didn't really work out.
It don't matter. Once you're a legend and your legacy solidified,
he did not have sex with both. Actually, he was a little bit embarrassed because after the sex, they both got up and were going to talk about what they were going to go eat. They weren't too impressed with him.
Lawrence has nothing to prove.
And they started talking about all the other black guys they had sex with that were better. But anyway, he didn't use a condom. So a lot of people were upset, like, where is there going to be any condoms? Because you don't really see them put on a condom or any of that.
Now, I'm not going to say he didn't use condoms because if you look in the scene, there was magnums on the dresser.
You look that close?
And also, I think when you go from person to person, you're supposed to switch the condom, but I guess he couldn't get an erection.
For what? They friends?
anyway, she said, Issa Rae responded, we tend to place condoms in the backgrounds of scenes or imply them, but we hear you guys and we'll do better next season. So there you go.
And I was thinking about this because I asked this on Twitter. I was like, why didn't we ever use condoms on Insecure? And then people were like, they never use condoms on TVs and movies. And I'm like, that's not true. I can think of some very iconic scenes where condoms were involved. Remember when Kid had the condom in his wallet and the condom was old in House Party?
And then he opened it up and it was all bent. Yeah. He had to go run and get one or something?
Yeah, and American Pie when I think it was the father was trying to show the son how to use the condom. Like, I've seen condoms in movies and TV shows before. Seinfeld did a whole episode about condoms.
What about porn?
No. Nah, I don't really see condoms in porn.
All right, well, I'm Angela Yee, and that is your Rumor Report.
The Breakfast Club. Every weekday morning. Tune in.